You've had the idea, right? That brilliant, world-changing idea for a business. But then it hits you. That one single massive roadblock that stops almost everyone. Money. It's why most amazing ideas, well, they just stay ideas. But what if I told you that roadblock is just an illusion? What if that thing you think is your biggest weakness could actually be your greatest strength? Let's get into it. And this right here, this quote from author Rachel Bridge, it's pretty much the core idea of this whole explainer. Look, it's not about pretending reality doesn't exist. It's about changing the rules of the game. It's a call to action that says your creativity, your hustle, that's way more valuable than a pile of cash. Okay, so just do it. It sounds great, it's inspiring, but how? Seriously, how do you go from a cool quote to actually building something real when your bank account is, empty? That's the real question, and we're about to break down the answers. So, the very first step, and this is absolutely crucial, it has nothing to do with finding investors or getting a loan. It's all about rewiring your brain. The source material calls this thinking free. It's about making a conscious choice to find a type of business that simply doesn't need cash to get off the ground. Think of business ideas like this. They fall into two big buckets. Over on the left, you've got your cash-hungry ideas. Imagine a new dating app. It's useless until thousands of people are on it. But on the right, that's our sweet spot, the cash flow positive idea. This is a business you can start with just one customer, where your costs are tiny, and, this is the magic part, your customers pay you before you have to pay anyone else. That one detail, it changes everything. And that brings us to this game-changing concept, the pay-as-you-go model. It basically means your costs are tied directly to your sales. A perfect example from the book is a service that handles all your stock, packing, and shipping, but with zero setup fees. You literally only pay them after a customer has already paid you. See how that just flips the whole traditional business model on its head? Okay, so we've got the mindset on lockdown. But, a mindset isn't a business. Now we get to the practical stuff. How do you find an idea that actually fits into this zero-cost world? You want to look for a few key things. First, urgency. Find a problem that people need solved right now. Second, go niche. Be an expert in one small thing, like the recruitment firm that only places accountants. Third, passion. It's got to be something you actually care about. And finally, and this is a big one, think about cash flow. Is it a service where you're just selling your time? Or can you get paid up front like an event planner does? That's the gold mine. All right, you've got the mindset, you've got a killer idea. Now for the really fun part. Let's build your zero-cost toolkit. This is going to be a rapid-fire tour of all the hacks you can use to run your business for, well, basically nothing. First up, a place to work. Forget that expensive office lease. You start at home. You use a cafe for meetings. That's your coffice. Or get really creative. The book tells this great story about Mary McDermott. She opened a pop-up shop in an empty studio space and made £10,000 in just 8 days. Or what about WeGo Careers? They run their entire logistics operation from a pay-as-you-go self-storage unit. The options are everywhere if you just think differently. Stock. Oh man, this is often the #1 cash killer for a new business. So what if you just didn't have any? Use a just-in-time model. You only order from your supplier after a customer has already paid you. Or, check this out, Enhance Image Consultancy sells their clients unwanted clothes for them and splits the profit. Boom. Instant inventory, zero cost. And of course, if you sell a service, your brain is the only stock you need. All right, but what about help? You can't do it all on your own, right? But a payroll? No way. Not yet. You use freelancers for specific jobs. You bring on an intern who's hungry for experience. You swap your marketing skills for an accountant's time. And never, ever underestimate family. I love this story. The founder of a big ski company, when he started, his mom ran the entire admin side of the business from her spare room. That's a zero-cost back office. So you've done it. You've built a business for free. That's amazing. But now you've got a new puzzle. How does anyone find out you even exist? Well, the answer isn't a huge ad budget. It's just being clever. And if you want to know where to focus your energy, just look at this. It's incredible. The #1 spot on a Google search page gets 60% of all the clicks. 60. We're not talking about paid ads here. We're talking about the free, natural search results. Getting to the top of Google is, without a doubt, the most powerful free marketing on the planet. So how do you get there for free? 3 big ideas here. First, make your product itself the advertisement. Make it so cool, so different that people can't help but talk about it. Second, actually engineer word of mouth. Don't just hope it happens. St. Helens Farm put pictures of their actual customers on their goat milk cartons. How great is that? And third, obviously, use social media to build a real community and talk to people directly. If you think that make the product the ad thing sounds a bit fluffy, you have got to hear the story of Pink Grip. Okay, an industrial adhesive is maybe the most boring product imaginable. It's all gray, beige, blah. The creator of one brand had this crazy idea. He colored his bright pink. People thought he was nuts, but it sold out in an hour. An hour, and it became the company's #1 bestseller. That single, free, creative choice was more powerful than any ad campaign he could have bought. Okay, we've gone through the mindset, the model, the tools, the marketing, the whole shebang. But none of it, and I mean none of it, matters without this last, most important piece of the puzzle, actually doing something. Action. This story about an entrepreneur named James is so important. He started his company based on this cool bicycle docking station he designed. And that product? It was a complete flop. He only ever sold 4 of them. But the business he built around it, the contacts, the systems, the experience, that went on to make millions. The lesson here is huge. Your first idea doesn't have to be perfect. The act of just starting is what matters. So after all of that, after all the strategies and hacks and cool stories, it really just boils down to this. One thing, one single step that's more important than everything else we've talked about. And that's it, taking the first step. Not a giant leap, not launching some global empire overnight, just one tiny, manageable first step. Registering a domain name, making one phone call, sketching an idea on a napkin. Because once you take that first step, the second one suddenly becomes possible. So I'll leave you with this. What's yours?
Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.